Okay. All right, so I have Mr. Williams uses pieces of wood that are 3/4 of a foot long for a set of shelves he is making. How many pieces of wood can he get from a board that is 3 feet long? So here we have our board that is 3 feet long. We want to know how many shelves Mr. Williams can make. What we're really asking is how many 3/4 of a foot long pieces can we get out of 3 feet? So let's start by dividing the boards into 4 equal pieces. So I'm dividing each board into 4 equal pieces so that we have fourths. Now we can count how many 3/4 pieces we have. So let's count 3/4 at a time. I'm just going to shade in. So here's 1, 2, 3. That's one. Here's 1, 2, 3. That's another. I'm going to use circles for those. Here's another group. 1, 2, 3. Let's use stripes again. And here's another group of 3/4. I'll use circles. So now let's count how many groups of 3/4 I made. Well, here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. When we're asking the question, how many 3/4 are in 3, that really is a division problem. And we write it this way. We always start with what we're dividing up, divided by 3/4. So when we count how many groups we have, he will be able to make 4 shelves. So 3 divided by 3/4 is equal to 4. We can also solve this using multiplication. So I'll put an X for times, and this time we're going to use the reciprocal. It will be 3 times the reciprocal of 3/4, which is 4/3. This will also give us the answer 4. Question 2 says, a car trip is 6 hours long. Every 2/3 of an hour, Allison changes the radio station. How many times does Allison change the radio station during the trip? So I started by using a number line. I divided it into 6 pieces to show the 6 hours that the car trip is. And then I divided each section into thirds. So each section has 3 equal pieces. That shows thirds. And now I'm trying to answer the question, how many groups containing 2/3 can I get out of 6? So I started grouping 2/3 together. So I'll come down here and finish. So here's 1/3 and 1/3, so that's another group. And here's another third and another, so that's another group, and I am done. So now let's count. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 groups that contain 2/3 of an hour each. So by division problem, again, I can write 6, I'll write it over here since I use my space, 6 divided by 2/3. I'm asking how many groups of 2/3 can I get out of 6 things? And of course, our answer is 9. She will change the station 9 times. Again, what other operation could you use to get the same answer? We can use multiplication. So I will write the multiplication problem as 6 times the reciprocal of 2/3, which is 3/2. Number 3, Keiko divided 5/8 gallon of milk evenly into 5 glasses. How much of the gallon is in each glass? So this time we know we have 5 groups. So I'll say group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, and group 5. So we're going to start with 5/8. So let me draw a picture that shows 8 equal pieces. And then 5 of them are filled in, so I'll shade it in with yellow. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm starting with 5 eighths. And I'll just separate it into each group. So I'll have one group go here, 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 and here. So it looks like each section, or each group rather, has one of these pieces. So if these are eighths, that means each group has 1/8 of a gallon of milk. So my division problem is 5 eighths divided into 5 groups equals 1/8. So that's how I solve number 3. Number 4, draw a model to help you visualize each problem. Find the quotient for each. So the first one, I'm starting with 6/8 and I want to divide it into 3 equal groups. So I've already written down the 3 groups. Let me shade in 6 of them. So here's a rectangle divided into eighths. I'm going to shade in 6 of those eighths. So we're starting with 6/8. And all I'm going to do is separate one at a time into groups until I have everything included. So here's one, here's one, here's one. Another for group 1, another for group 2, and another for group 3. And I've made all my groups. So it looks like I put 2 pieces in each group. So 6/8 divided by 3, divided into 3 groups, is equal to 2/8, which is also simplified as 1/4. This time I'm starting with 8 things, and I want to know how many groups can I get that contain 4/5. So I will start with my rectangles again. I'll start with 8 of them. There's 4, 7, and 8. So since I'm talking about fifths, I know that each of my rectangles has to have 5 equal pieces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. It takes a while to get through that. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal pieces in each group. So now I want to look at groups of 4/5. So I will shade in 4 of those at a time. Here's a group. Here's a group there. So there's 4 in each one. Here's 4. Here's 4. All right, but I can't forget that these fifths, they can combine to make 4/5 as well. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4 that I can combine together. So I'll put those as dots. And then over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, they can combine also to make another group of 4/5. So I'll put those together. So now let's count how many groups containing 4/5 can I make out of 8 things. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then these 4 combine. These 4 combine to make group number 9. And then these 4 combine to make group number 10. So going back to the problem, 8 divided into groups that contain 4/5 is equal to 10. That's it, and we are done.